sometimes I want to play some games, and I have a PC for that on the shelf on the top there. My GPU is not the newest one, it's a 2080 Ti, and I want to get it to shut up because it starts to get noisy, and the reason for that is probably thermal pads, thermal paste. Over a year ago I did the same video where I just changed the thermal paste on the GPU. Now it's starting to be noisy again, so let's see if we can get this fixed. And when it's getting noisy, it's because it's unable to cool its GPU. Turns on the fans, and when I'm going to play some Elden Ring, when I have produced some music, it's just annoying. In my previous video, I showed you how I disassembled the GPU, so if you want to know how to do that, you can check the link up here on the video. In this video, I'm going to try to investigate why I have gotten the problem again. I can show you what's happening here. So we have the temperatures. In idle, we can see that the GPU temperature is around 53 degrees, 54 degrees, and the hotspot temperature is 73. So I think that's pretty high actually. VRM temperature, it's 54. MSI afterburner is resetted, so I don't have any custom fan curves. Everything is default, and we are going to take a look in Elden Ring or a game here and see what's happening with the temperatures before we do some work on this card. My plan is to replace the thermal pads and of course the thermal paste. In my previous video I actually did not replace the thermal pads. I don't think that was a huge issue, but I'm thinking maybe the thermal paste I used, it was some kind of older Arctic or Noctua thermal paste. I don't remember, I have to see the video. Or maybe that thermal paste have dried up. I'm not sure. So, but we can take a look here in the game, see what kind of temperatures we get now. So I was actually thinking about upgrading my GPU to see if I can maybe find some kind of used 4080, because I think that works well with my 1440p display here, 4080 Super or something like that. But even the used prices are over $1,000 here. I think I could get a deal for like $1,100. If I'm going to use that much money on a GPU, I think I will wait for the 5000 series, use the money for some kind of 5080 or 5090 or something like that. So here we have Elden Ring. I have increased the quality, so I think I have RTX on low or something like that. I don't play like this, but it's just to tax the GPU. So we can take a look at the temperatures here. So we have 70 degrees on the GPU temperature, but on hotspot here we have 107. I'm not sure if that's probably why the fans are going as they are. It tries to cool, but it looks like it's not able to do that. And if we take a look at the VRM temps, they look pretty good actually on 62. I'm not sure what the problem here is, if it's the thermal paste application on the GPU die or if it's some kind of bad thermal pads. My bet is on the GPU itself. So I have bought Thermal Grizzly Kryonaut Extreme thermal pastes, which I'm going to repaste the GPU with that, and we are going to also use some Thermal Grizzly thermal pads. Most important thing is actually remove the fan noise. I can live with higher temperatures, but I don't really like the fan noise because I like to play without headphones. Let's take a look and see what we are dealing with here. Here we have the GPU die. Doesn't look that bad, and we can see the thermal pads here. I think they are ready to be replaced. As you can see, we still have some viscosity left here, so it's not like it's caked on there, the thermal paste, but there are some missing here, so that might contribute to some problems. So I think we'll try to reapply the thermal paste and yeah, obviously replace the thermal pad here because it looks dusty and dirty and everything, and we're going to replace the thermal pad with this one. That was the only one in stock here in Norway. It's the Thermal Grizzly, the only one I could get pretty fast. We are going to use this thermal paste, and I have links in the description below for all of these items. You can buy them, and yeah, we'll see the results afterwards. And it's time to get working. So we also have this shroud here, and underneath here we also have some thermal pads. It looks like this. And I'm not actually sure if I have enough pads to replace these, but yeah, we'll see. So these are the thermal pads for the memory chips over here. So I will try and see if I can replace the thermal pads there, or at least clean this up a little bit, see if we can get some new, better cooling over here. So in my infinite wisdom, I did not buy enough thermal pads so I can cover my entire memory chips. So these are the strips I have left. So it's this one, and it's just this one here. And this is supposed to kind of cover all of the memory chips on the GPU here. But if we can see here, there's actually one memory chip missing over there. So I might be able to kind of jerry-rig something here. And I wanted to show you another thing. Just look at, so these are flexible. If you see here, they flex. So if you look at this, this is just caked on here. It's just really, it's really hard. It's like paper. It's just smoldering, making a big mess. It's not flexible at all, so I really need to try to do something with this. So let's see what we can do. So as you can see here, I didn't have enough thermal pads ordered to cover the entire card. I was able to cover the VRMs here, and the memory chips here, and one there, and I had to use one of my older thermal pads already on the card here, just to try to clean it up and just put it over the two memory chips over here. So I decided to use that thermal pad here instead. A little fail, but that's what we have to do here. These pads are expensive, so I didn't want to order more of them, and I actually thought it would be enough. But yeah, as you can see on the thermal pad material on my kind of what was already there, this is just, yeah, just dries up. So now we are going to slap some Kryonaut Extreme thermal paste onto the GPU here. We are going to assemble the card, put it into the PC, and see what type of result we get. Let's go. Okay, so Elden Ring has been running for about 10 minutes in 1440p max quality and max ray tracing, and it doesn't the GPU at 100%. The GPU load is 54% here, but I can try with FurMark later on, so just hold on. I don't really remember what the temperature was when I started here, but you can see that now the GPU temperature is at 75 degrees, and the hotspot is at 90 degrees. Fan speed 37, and yeah, basically the only fans I'm hearing from this computer now is the CPU fan and some kind of coil white from the PSU. So my goal with this was to reduce the fan noise from the GPU, and obviously this is much better than compared to what it was. So on this particular GPU, you have a setting on or an actual button on the card where you can set it to silent mode and you can set it to high performance mode, and on mine it's set to silent mode. And I think that when you have it set to silent mode, it allows a little higher temperature to kind of keep the card more silent. No biggie for my sake. I don't care if this card really, or of course I care if it burns up, but It's almost a 4 or 5 year old card, so I'm going to replace it at some point, but if it could last a year, maybe to the end of 2024, that would be nice. That's when I plan to perhaps upgrade. If we take a look here, we can see that the VRM temps are at 78 degrees. I don't remember what they was. I might put up some kind of graphic on the video here so we can compare. And yeah, as I said, my goal here is to play Elden Ring without needing to use my speakers or my headphones over there. And yeah, it solved that issue. Okay, so I have been running FurMark here now for about 5 minutes and try to even out temperatures and everything. No fan noise, and the GPU load is at 100%. We can take a look at what the graphs here are saying. 99% GPU load, and we can see on hotspot it's 96 degrees and the GPU temperature is 82 degrees. And the core clock is at 1.6 gigahertz, and it's kind of the same here. Hotspot temperature is 96 degrees and the VRMs are at 90, around 90 degrees. And this is an unrealistic test. This is just to see if everything is holding together, and even running this unrealistic test shows that I have no fan noise over here, and playing games like Elden Ring with like 60% GPU load would be absolutely no issue at all. So it's been a day since I did the work on the GPU, or at least more than a day, I think. And it looks like when we saw the temperatures earlier in this video when I was running FurMark here and Elden Ring, I don't think the thermal paste or the thermal pads had kind of cured. So it looks like the temperature now when I'm running FurMark, the GPU load is at 99% and the GPU temperature is at 80 degrees after about 5 minutes of running FurMark. Hotspot is at 95. Remember that when I was running Elden Ring, the hotspot was at 107 degrees. When I was running Elden Ring, the GPU load was probably around 50-60%. Now the GPU load is at 100% and the hotspot is at actually 94 degrees. Yeah, GPU temperature is at 79, 80 degrees. And the VRM temperatures, I was a little bit worried about the VRMs because they are at like 87 degrees now, 86. And when I was testing Elden Ring in the beginning of this video, the VRM temps were around 75 degrees. But again, then the GPU load was lower, of course, compared to this one. The most important thing here is that I don't hear any fan noise from the GPU at all. I think we can say that kind of successful this time, because that's what I wanted the outcome to be. I wanted to get the fan noise down, but it doesn't really seem like the temps went down. I have to be honest with you, I'm not really sure if that's wrong or not. So if this is a failed video or not, you can decide in the comments below. When I get in here, I sit down, I play some games, it's silent, it's a 4-year-old card. If it dies, it dies, it's sad, but then I have a reason to buy like a 5090 or something. So the products I used was this one, it's not sponsored, Kryonaut Extreme. Links in the description for that to Amazon. And I used the minus pad from Thermal Grizzly. So if you have any opinions of this, if I should have done something different, you are welcome to comment down below. Just keep it civil, and I will talk to you in the next video. Goodbye.